So we know that your mental health and your emotional well-being are just as important as your physical health and well-being. And you may have had your baby and be feeling absolutely great and very in love with your baby and it's all going really well, and that's great. Or it may be that you're actually struggling with how you're feeling and not feeling so good, and that can be really difficult to acknowledge and to experience. So just to let you know that around day 3 to 4, about 50 to 80% of women experience baby blues. It's really common. You might feel very tearful, quite overwhelmed, and just like you kind of can't cope. And on this day, I always say, just really take it easy, minimise visitors, just kind of wrap up in a duvet, have cups of tea and chocolate biscuits, and be kind to yourself. Baby blues affects most people, but does pass, and usually you'd expect to see it pass within 1 to 2 days, at worst 3 days. What you might want to think about is if that kind of low mood and tearfulness persists, we might be looking at something else. It might be postnatal depression. And if you have had a history of depression or anxiety previously, you are slightly at increased risk of that developing postnatally. So it's worth being aware of that and planning as much as possible the support that you have and that you need. But if you do find that you're struggling with your mood, feeling tearful, low, maybe not feeling as connected to your baby as you would hope, please do ask for help, and I'll come on to that in a moment. Postnatal anxiety as well is often not recognised because we always talk about postnatal depression, but someone may start feeling very anxious about their baby, have intrusive thoughts, so really unpleasant negative thoughts, and these are so much more common than you'd think. You may find that you're kind of constantly worrying about what might happen, lots of kind of what if questions, and these are signs of postnatal anxiety. And again, if you find that you're struggling with these, we really do encourage you to try to get some help. What kind of help is available? Well, in the first instance, and we know it can be quite difficult to ask, talk to your partner or your family or someone you feel you can have that conversation with. You might feel that you can talk to your GP, you might feel that you can talk to your midwife, and the hope is that you're being asked regularly about your emotional well-being. It is a part of your postnatal care, and it's really important. And in asking for help, then there are lots of options available. There's additional support from midwives and health visitors, there's talking therapies, you might consider medication. There's lots that can be done. You really don't need to carry on and suffer in silence. And also, if you are struggling to bond with your baby, there are specialist services that can help and support you, and you are not on your own. It's so much more common than you'd think. Some people have experienced their birth as quite traumatic, that either things happened that they weren't expecting and that frightened them, or they felt that the birth experience was very far from what they had anticipated, and it can leave you feeling anxious, distressed, and kind of replaying what went on in the birth. And you may have you need some answers about this, and what you can do is you can book yourself in for a birth reflection appointment. You can self-refer for this, and the details for that will be available in the video. But it's really important sometimes to meet with a senior midwife who can go through your notes and answer those questions and help organise your memory really of events, which can feel quite jumbled and confused. And if again you do feel that you're still struggling with anxiety around that, you could be referred for talking therapy, or you can self-refer yourself for talking therapy, which can be very effective in helping with this and postnatal depression and postnatal anxiety. So I guess the kind of takeaway message is it's incredibly common, much more common than we think, to struggle with your mental health after you've had a baby. And lots of people might be saying how wonderful it all is, and you maybe don't feel that it's so wonderful. And what I would say is please do ask for help, because there's lots of resources and help available. In terms of accessing support and resources, as I said, talk to your GP, talk to your midwife, but you could also have a look at our Sash Maternity website, where you can access our mental health leaflets, which talk about signs and symptoms, a bit like I have, but also the resources that are available, how to self-refer yourself for help, and what kind of things you might be able to do for yourself as well that might make you begin to feel a little bit better. So please do talk to someone if you are struggling, and let us know if you need some help, and we'd be really happy to try and help you.